Hey, welcome back to ZK Master Tech. Got a couple service calls already this morning. We're going to go out to a 9530. Customer saying that it's got an axle lube pressure code on it, so we'll go check it out. I brought a sensor with me. That's most likely what it is. Get that done. Then I've got a 9570 RT setting a code for the DEF dosing valve, aka injector. So customer's actually going to get a new injector because you got to pull that injector out to run the test to see if it's even spraying or not. So might as well have a new injector there on hand because he's wanting to get the tractor up and running because he's kind of down in the water right now and he wants to get going. So let's check out this 9530 and see what it is. So I got the tractor fired up and I went to the address that's monitoring the axle lube pressure. We're sitting at 0.64, which is, I don't know, a little bit above 50 PSI or so. But whenever I move the tractor, it'll jump up to like 3.2. That's like 246 PSI. So right now it's not actually setting the code. So I'm gonna go check, visually inspect this sensor. So here above the rear axle is this is for a double reduction axle lube sensor. That's so on a double reduction axles, it's gonna be right here on the rear axle. This is the front side of the differential. I unplugged it to check the terminals and the wiring. It all looks good. I mean, the voltage is actually in spec right now, so I just went ahead and swapped that sensor out. This one looks like it's been in there for a while, and these are pretty common to fail. So what we're going to do is just run the tractor in the field and see what happens. All right, customer and I are going to go run this thing in this field right here, get her warmed up, see what happens. All right, well, we ran the tractor under a load for, I don't know, like 8 rounds or so. Never missed a lick. The axle lube pressure is right where it needed to be. So I don't know if that pressure sensor got stuck at a low voltage whenever he first started it, because it's kind of cold this morning and that's when it set the code, but it's operating perfectly. So he's going to go ahead and continue the run, and if he has any more problems, he'll let me know. All right, now I'm en route to the 9570 RT. So we're gonna check out and see what's going on with this DEF injector code. So let's check it out. Okay, I'm here in the cab of the 9570. Customer even brought it into the shop for me, so I'm out of the wind. That's pretty nice of him. Diesel exhaust fluid dosing valve fault. So that means we have a mechanical problem in the dosing valve. So what I've got to do next is remove the DEF dosing injector, and then we'll do a DEF dosing unit override test, and we'll see if it's injecting DEF or not. All right, first thing we got to do is we got to get that cover off right there. All right, we got that off. Now we got to dive into the dosing valve here, which is back in there. So I gotta get this cover off here, soak the nuts down with some penetrant. The studs are kind of rusty. That one's smoking. No, Stubby bringing the pain today. Okay. Oh yeah. That's tucked in a glorious spot. So yeah, I think I am gonna blow that off. Okay, well my next problem is this coolant pipes and everything being right in my way. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch off this line, take this line off, bust this loose just slightly to where I can take these two nuts off, and then maybe just turn this out of the way Maybe? Let's try that. I don't want to have to drain the cooling system down just so I can do a test. So we'll pinch this guy off. Well, we actually got to pinch off the other one too, or it's just going to leak out the other side, probably. Okay. Knipex twin grip pliers. Pretty gnarly. Cut Knipex for you German folks out there. It goes very nicely. Okay. There we go. Didn't even hardly drip. Just a little bit. Just want to swivel. Swivel. And snug it up. Cool. That works. Whoever put this hose clamp on wasn't very nice. Guy, turn it. I think we're going to have to unplug the electrical connector for the moment. Probably take the def line off too. So there's Allen bolts on this little heat shield thing. Oh boy. Say a prayer for these little bolts. Guy. Of course not. How about a ball? Maybe. Looks like they're coming out pretty easy. Got to be very careful with these. So you can strip the Allen out, and they're just little M6, little bitty guys. This back one. Come on, little buddy. I might just leave that there for now. These are just 10s. Boy, they are not very tight. Surprisingly, they've been in there for a long time. Man, we are winning. I'm only saying that because the last experience I had wasn't so great with these bolts. It was a bit of fiasco. Man, it's windy. Well, there she is. Def injector. It's got engine coolant running through it to keep it cool. Tip doesn't look terrible. I've seen worse. That hole's kind of plugged up. Let me bring you in here. So that's what DEF does when it dries. It crystallizes like that. Get this guy off. That's the gasket. All right. Now the test, we need to be able to plug this guy back in, the DEF line, an electrical connector, and somehow be able to put it in a measuring device. See how much DEF it meters out, but that's not going to be, you ain't got enough hose, people. You just don't. All right, so I haven't done one on an RT before, but on an RX, it's over here, and you can easily get that over into container. So I took the DEF line and the electrical connector down, and I got it hanging down, and I couldn't find the appropriate container to put it in. So I just got it hanging out right there, and I can initiate it with my laptop. My laptop's hooked up with Bluetooth laying here on the track here, but we're just going to watch the spray pattern and see what it looks like and go from there. I know this way isn't ideal, but it's all I got at the moment. Initiated. It's building pressure. Doesn't look too bad. Well, I got me a 17-ounce bottle, and that is how much it filled it in 300 seconds. So it's supposed to be 0.35 liters, which is about 11.8 ounces. That might be a little bit more than 11.8, maybe. I don't know. It's close. All right, well, I got the hole all cleaned out, and I guess we're just going to put it back together, but the customer wants to go ahead and put the new dosing injector in because it's got like over 4,500 hours on the machine. It's never been replaced, so we're going to go ahead and put the new injector on it, but at least I know electrically, and that's working. The system's priming, it is injecting. Spray pattern seemed a little heavy down the middle. I mean, it didn't look terrible, but that hole was completely plugged up with crystallized DEF. So, but you would think it would have enough pressure to blow through that. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, there was just a little bitty hole where it could inject DEF in there. So maybe that right there was our problem. Maybe that injector's been leaking and then crystallizing in there. So we're going to go ahead and put the new injector on, and then get all this ball back together. Okay, I got the tractor fired up, running. no leaks or anything, so I think we're good to go. I kind of had to rush because I'm trying to get this tractor up and running today because it's got to do 160 acres today. So I cleared the codes. No codes are active, so I think we're just going to go ahead and let the customer take this thing to the field and put her under a load and let it run and see what happens. And if there's any problems, they'll give me a call back. So I'm going to pack up and head out of here. All right, well, we got another happy customer. Few things that I learned on that is I need to find the special Cummins tools for an extension to put on that the def dosing line and the electrical connector, so you could get that injector out further to where you can put it in a container a little easier. That would have made my life a lot better. I haven't pulled one out of an RT. I've pulled them out of the 9RXs, and you got more room. You don't need to have that. So, and I need to find my little beaker that measures in milliliters so I can really see where that is. I did have one, and I don't know what happened to it. That would have made it a little bit easier to see how much exactly it metered out in 300 seconds. That def test, it runs for 300 seconds and is supposed to do 0.35 liters, which is 11.8 ounces, if my math is correct. So I think it was metering just fine, but maybe it was leaking and causing it to crystallize up there on that hole. Not really sure. So any of you Cummins guys out there ever seen that issue before on the 9RTs, 9RXs, comment below. Let me know what you guys are seeing. Got to work together. I just called the shop, and the power's out. The shop, it kind of flickered on and off a couple times today, but now it's just off. And the wind gust is like 45 mile an hour. I mean, it's just ridiculous out here. Yesterday, it actually created a pretty bad dust storm, and there was a bad wreck, like a huge multiple car pile up on I-55 south of Springfield, Illinois, and 6 people lost their lives in that wreck. A lot of people injured. I don't remember the number, but you guys ought to Google that I-55 wreck south of Springfield. It's pretty tragic. So not too much dust really blowing around where I was yesterday. I mean, a little bit, but I guess the farther west you went in Illinois, the worse it got. So right now the tillage tractors are running extra hard, trying to get ahead. So when the guys get ready to start planting more corn, it seems like everybody's waiting on the weather to get a little nicer to plant corn. Most of them's got the beans done. Some guys are completely done, but so they're waiting a little bit to get the corn done. So the tillage tractors are running pretty hard right now. So they're stirring up a lot of dust in this high wind. So that's where all that's coming from. But that's probably going to be it for today, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Might have a couple more calls for you guys. Good morning. Got a service call this morning. We're going to a 8345R, setting a code for the EGR valve position mismatch. So I got an EGR valve and some gaskets with me just in case, but we're going to figure out, whether it's wiring or the actual valve is bad. So let's check it out. I found him. They're down there. All right, so in the tractor hooked up, I did a harness test, and the EGR valve desired and actual position mismatched during learn, and it did go active. So I'm going to give a visual inspection on the EGR valve and the electrical connections. All right, top the engine here. This is where the EGR valve is. You can see the actuator right there. I took the connector off and the kind of protective coverings. I wanted to make sure wire wasn't broken in the terminal, because that's pretty typical. You'll tug on these wires and you'll just pull the wire right out of the terminal. So that all looks good. So I already have an EGR valve, so we're just going to plug a new one in, let it sit right here, and see if it will calibrate. Got a new one plugged in there. I'm going to go do a relearn on that and see if the code goes away. It's time to tool up. Yep. I think I want this guy. X-Core 13 swivel, sure. Another 13 swivel, and oh man, wrenches are a mess. It was pretty bumpy. That came out okay. Man, wrenches got all messed up. I think I need this guy. Yeah. Moon wrench. Oh, what else? Hopefully that's it. Hopefully I can do. Oh yeah. You can get that X-Core 13 millimeter long swivel socket. Right there. There's one. Can we get this one? Oh boy. Nope. One more extension. There's two. Try to loosen this a little bit. Oh yeah, we got wigglage. This little line is just right in the way of this bolt. We'll take this moon wrench, try to hook it in there, break it loose. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long day. Can't get fingers in there. This is a lot easier to do on a combine, even though you're bent way over the top of the engine compartment, but you don't have all these lines right here in your way. Oh, got him. Now, will you come out? No. Will not. Boy, that's tight. Tight. I think we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and take this other pipe off. Didn't want to, but think we're just gonna have to. Come on. Two. At least it's a nice day. The wind has died down, thank goodness. Can we get in there? Oh, you would not believe the angles this hex core extension will do. I mean, it's a game changer. So, we got these gaskets to deal with. So now this pipe will move out of the way. More gaskets. Now, can a guy squeak that out? Maybe. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Boy. EGR sure is dirty. Gotta love it. What's the inside of this cooler look like? It's hard to tell. Well, it's not wet in there, so that's always a good sign. So let's get this guy in place. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a lovely time. Trying to get all that lined up. Really? Man, talk about a tight spot. I'm gonna have to have surgical hands today. Surgical. Oh, maybe, possibly. And we get it started. Let's try another one. Can we get another one in? Oh, made it through one. Maybe two. Can we get this one going? Just maybe. I think we're in. Definitely not in at the top now. Son of a gun. Why? Yeah, maybe it got started, maybe not. I don't know. Moon wrench for the win. Quarter turn at a time. Can we get this in there? Just maybe, possibly. Oh. Come on, Stubby. Your turn. Don't want to get it too tight. Just snug. Two, and three. No. Oh, it doesn't want to start. Why? Bottom one might have been too tight, maybe. Yeah, we got wiggle now. Need wigglage. Oh yeah, there it is. Yep. Mm-hmm. Got those snugged up. I'm gonna torque lay on those. Don't you worry. Another gasket. There we go. Put the stubby on snug mode. Torquey. 26 foot-pounds. And my elbow's calibrated too, so. Okay. One. Okay. That one just, okay. Right on. Try to get that guy back on. Alright, little connector. Put this little protective covering over it. Boop. Like that. There. How you like that? Click. All right. Everything's all happy now. All right, so the EGR valve is installed. So the only thing I got to do left is I will relearn the EGR value so the tractor can recalibrate the EGR valve, and then this thing should be good to go. Wouldn't have been easy to do that EGR valve without that gear wrench X-Core 13mm swivel extension. Any tools that you guys see me use that you would like to buy yourself, I now have a Amazon influencer account. So down in the description, I'll put a link for my Amazon storefront. I took a lot of time to only put tools on that page that I use and that I like. So if you guys are interested in buying some of the tools that you see on this channel, go give that Amazon store for ZK Mastertech a try. And there's a lot of cool stuff on there, so go check it out. All right, well, that tractor is good to go. Customer's gonna get his seed loaded up and he's gonna take that thing planting. I think there's gonna be a lot of guys planting today. The weather's just beautiful, sunny, no wind. It's like 61 degrees, gonna be a high of 72 today, so it's gonna be a beautiful day. But I think that's gonna do it for this episode of ZK Mastertech. Appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe to the channel, and until next time, keep that green iron moving.